Every year, millions of Americans pack up their lives and move somewhere new, chasing cheaper rent, better weather, or some vague notion that the grass is greener in a zip code where they don't know anyone. And every year, a significant percentage of those people realize, usually around month 4, standing in a parking lot during a heat advisory, or watching their catalytic converter get stolen in broad daylight, that they made a terrible mistake. The internet is lousy with lists telling you where to move. Best cities for young professionals, hidden gems for remote workers. They're written by people who've never paid rent in the places they're recommending, citing metrics that somehow never include likelihood of your car being broken into, or can you breathe the air? This is the other list. 26 American cities that, for various reasons, economic, environmental, or just vibes, you should cross off your 2026 relocation shortlist. Not because they're bad places. Some are beautiful. Some have incredible food. But interesting to visit and wise to move to are different conversations. If you live in one of these cities and love it, stay. Prove me wrong. But if you're thinking about packing a U-Haul, you deserve to know what you're walking into. Number 26. Toledo, Ohio. Toledo is the kind of place where people say, "It's not that bad," with a frequency that should concern you. The city sits on Lake Erie, which sounds pleasant until you remember the lake's ongoing competition for most likely body of water to grow toxic algae. The drinking water crisis of 2014 wasn't a one-time thing. It was a preview. Population has dropped below 270,000, down from over 380,000 in the 1970s. Median household income hovers around $40,000. Property taxes are among Ohio's highest. Manufacturing left and didn't come back. Median home prices under $130,000 sound great until you realize cheap sometimes means the market is trying to tell you something. Toledo's market is whispering very clearly, bring a backup plan. Number 25. Brownsville, Texas. Brownsville sits at Texas's southernmost tip, and it desperately wants you to know it has a SpaceX facility nearby. What the brochure doesn't mention, nearly 28% of residents live below the poverty line. Median household income is around $42,000. The city feels isolated in a way Google Maps doesn't prepare you for. The nearest major metro is 3 hours away. Summer temperatures exceed 100 degrees with humidity that makes breathing feel like work. Housing is cheap, median around $200,000, but you get what you pay for in infrastructure and economic mobility. If you're not connected to aerospace or don't have family roots here, there's very little pulling you in. Number 24. Hartford, Connecticut. Hartford is the insurance capital of America, which tells you everything about its personality. The city has old money architecture and an economy that peaked decades ago. Population has dipped below 120,000. The poverty rate exceeds 28%. Here's the kicker. Connecticut is expensive. Northeastern cost of living with Rust Belt economic prospects, the worst of both worlds. The city has flirted with bankruptcy for years. Violent crime runs about 3 times the national average. Hartford has Mark Twain's house. It has cultural legacy. But cultural legacy doesn't keep the streetlights on. Number 23. Shreveport, Louisiana. Shreveport was once northern Louisiana's economic engine, built on oil and riverboat gambling. Those days are gone. Population has declined over 10%, dropping below 180,000. The casinos mostly extracted wealth rather than creating it. Oil is cyclical at best, departing at worst. What remains? A 24% poverty rate, violent crime nearly 4 times the national average, and a downtown waiting for something that isn't coming. Shreveport has soul, history, and some of the South's best food. But charm doesn't fix a broken economy. This is a city for those with deep roots, not transplants seeking opportunity. Number 22. Gary, Indiana. Let's get this one out of the way. Gary is what happens when a single industry leaves and nothing replaces it. At its 1960s peak, Gary had over 175,000 residents, fueled by U.S. Steel. Today, around 68,000, with entire neighborhoods resembling post-apocalyptic film sets. The tax base eroded so completely that basic services became luxuries. Violent crime rates are among the nation's highest. Poverty exceeds 30%. You can find homes listed under $30,000, a price reflecting declining schools, limited jobs, and the weight of being somewhere America has decided to forget. Gary isn't a punchline. It's a cautionary tale about building cities around corporations that feel no loyalty to place. Number 21. Stockton, California. Stockton was the largest U.S. city to file for bankruptcy in 2012. The scars remain. California's Central Valley means California prices with decidedly un-California job markets. Median home prices exceed $420,000. Median household income is around $60,000. Car theft operates as an informal economy. Air quality is terrible. Agricultural dust, highway pollution, wildfire smoke settling into the valley like it's found its forever home. Summer means triple digits for weeks. Stockton is where Bay Area refugees go when they can't afford Oakland. That desperation pricing tells its own story. Number 20. Fresno, California. California's fifth largest city is also one of its most troubled. The poverty rate exceeds 22%. Air quality consistently ranks among the nation's worst, thanks to valley geography that traps pollutants like a slow cooker. Violent crime runs 50% above the national average. Median home prices have crested $375,000. Absurd for a market with these fundamentals. The job market is agricultural and healthcare dependent, neither offering upward mobility that justifies these air quality readings. Fresno has genuinely good food. Armenian, Mexican, Southeast Asian communities punching above their weight. But you can't eat dinner if you can't breathe. Number 19. Rochester, New York. Rochester is Exhibit A for why cheapest cities lists need asterisks. Housing is affordable, median around $210,000. Cost of living is low. But Rochester is defined by what it used to be. Kodak and Xerox once made this an innovation hub. Now Kodak is a shell company, and Xerox has relocated. Population has declined to 210,000, down from 330,000 at peak. The poverty rate exceeds 30%, higher than Detroit. The weather, gray skies, heavy snow, seasonal depression that vitamin D can't touch. The people who stay tend to be those who grew up here, not those who compared options and chose Rochester. Number 18. Little Rock, Arkansas. Little Rock is Arkansas's capital, which should mean something. It doesn't mean enough. The murder rate regularly ranks among the highest for cities its size. Median household income sits around $52,000. Population growth has stagnated. Housing is cheap, median around $220,000. But cheap living means nothing if you don't feel safe living. When your sales pitch requires carefully mapping which zip codes to avoid, you're not selling a city. You're selling a bunker. Number 17. Birmingham, Alabama. Birmingham has been rebranding for years, with genuine progress. The food scene is nationally recognized. The civil rights history is profound. The medical district employs tens of thousands, but shadows remain long. Poverty exceeds 24%. Violent crime rates rank among the country's highest. The metro is balkanized into dozens of municipalities, with wealth hoarded in suburbs while the city struggles with an eroding tax base. Birmingham has two stories: the downtown Renaissance developers want you to see, and the neighborhood decay nobody discusses. Both are true. Number 16. Bakersfield, California. If Fresno is California's overlooked middle child, Bakersfield is the sibling nobody mentions at family dinners. An oil town in a state that wants nothing to do with oil. Air quality, atrocious. Summer temperatures, triple digits for weeks. Poverty rate, around 19%. Yet median home prices have climbed above $400,000. The cultural scene is limited. Young people leave if they can. The political culture is red in an increasingly blue state, creating isolation beyond geography. Bakersfield isn't hostile. It's indifferent. Sometimes indifference is worse. Number 15. Albuquerque, New Mexico. Albuquerque has one of America's most stunning natural settings. Sandia Mountains, Rio Grande, high desert. Light artists have chased for a century. It also has property crime rates that would make an insurance adjuster weep. Vehicle theft is essentially a local sport. Statistically, your car is more likely to be stolen here than almost anywhere in America. Violent crime runs 70% above the national average. Median household income, around $54,000. Poverty exceeds 17%. Albuquerque is beautiful. The food is extraordinary. But beauty doesn't lock your car doors. Number 14. Cleveland, Ohio. Cleveland has been the subject of so many resurgence articles that the resurgence itself has become the story rather than evidence it's working. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is here. The art museum is world-class. And yet, population continues declining, below 370,000, down from over 900,000 at peak. Poverty exceeds 30%. Violent crime runs triple the national average. Housing is cheap, median around $115,000, but cheap in a declining market isn't a bargain. It's a reflection of demand. The people who love Cleveland really love it. There's defensive pride bordering on defiance. But pride doesn't reverse population trends. Number 13. Newark, New Jersey. Newark is perpetually on the verge of something. It's been on the verge for decades. The city has assets, Manhattan proximity, a major airport, housing costs that make New York look like a fever dream. But better than New York is the lowest bar. Poverty exceeds 27%. Median home prices have climbed to around $400,000. You're paying for proximity to opportunity, not opportunity itself. Newark has potential. It's been told it has potential for longer than most residents have been alive. At some point, potential without delivery becomes its own tragedy. Number 12. Jackson, Mississippi. Jackson is the clearest example on this list of a city abandoned by the systems meant to support it. The 2022 water crisis wasn't an anomaly. It was decades of disinvestment made visible. Population has dropped below 150,000. Poverty exceeds 24%. Violent crime ranks among the nation's highest. The infrastructure is failing at a fundamental level. Housing is cheap, median around $125,000. But cheap housing means nothing if you can't drink the water. Jackson is beautiful with extraordinary history. But moving here in 2026 is less optimism than a leap of faith. Number 11. Memphis, Tennessee. Memphis gave the world blues, soul, and rock and roll. Beale Street and barbecue, and a cultural legacy that shaped American music. It's also one of America's most dangerous cities. Violent crime consistently ranks top 3 for major cities. Poverty exceeds 24%. Population has declined to around 630,000. The job market is dominated by FedEx and healthcare, stable, not transformative. Memphis has soul. There's no other word for it. But soul doesn't pay rent, and Memphis's rent-to-safety ratio is among the country's worst. Number 10. Baltimore, Maryland. Baltimore is contradictions. Johns Hopkins. The Inner Harbor. Architecture telling stories of 19th century wealth. Also, Violent crime defying proximity to the nation's capital. Poverty exceeding 20%. Population has declined for decades, below 570,000, down from over 900,000. Property taxes are nearly double surrounding counties. Thousands of abandoned row houses line block after block, visual reminders of generational hemorrhaging. Baltimore has character. It has grit. It has the wire, but character doesn't fix systemic disinvestment. Number 9. St. Louis, Missouri. St. Louis wants you to know the crime statistics are misleading. The city and county are technically separate, inflating per capita numbers. This is true. But when your defense is, our murder rate isn't quite as bad as it looks, you've already lost. Population has dropped below 300,000, down from 850,000 at peak. Poverty exceeds 20%. The city-county divide means suburban resources never reach those who need them. Housing is cheap, median around $175,000. The food scene is underrated. But reinvention requires resources, and St. Louis has been bleeding them for longer than most residents have been alive. Number 8. Portland, Oregon. Portland was, for 15 years, the city every creative class transplant wanted. Coffee, food carts, cycling infrastructure, like someone designed a city for Brooklyn marketing workers who couldn't afford Brooklyn. Then, something broke. By 2020, it was undeniable. Homelessness exploded. Property crime soared. Downtown emptied and hasn't returned. The political culture curdled from charmingly eccentric into paralysis. Housing remains around $500,000 despite measurably declining quality of life. Portland still has good food, beautiful surroundings, and weirdness, though the weirdness now comes with more needles. The Portland of 2026 is not the Portland of 2012. Number 7. Las Vegas, Nevada. Las Vegas exists because people decided to build a city in one of North America's least hospitable landscapes and dared nature to respond. For decades, nature didn't. Now it might. Lake Mead, the city's water supply, has been declining to historic lows. Climate projections suggest this isn't drought, it's permanent reduction. The economy is tourism-dependent, cyclical, recession-vulnerable. Housing has been volatile. And summers now regularly hit 115, 118, 120 degrees. Vegas is fun to visit, that's the point. But living in a place built for visitors is different. The infrastructure serves tourists, not residents. The future looks like a wager the city might lose. Number 6. New Orleans, Louisiana. New Orleans might be the most beloved city on this list. Also, one of the most doomed. This isn't about culture. The culture is extraordinary. This is about physics. New Orleans is sinking. The Gulf is rising. Every year, the distance narrows. Katrina was 20 years ago. The lessons haven't been learned. Insurance costs have skyrocketed, if you can get insurance. Population never fully recovered. Infrastructure reflects managed decline. New Orleans isn't a city you move to for practical reasons. It's a city you move to because you've fallen in love and don't care about consequences. If that's you, Godspeed. But go in with eyes open. Number 5. Chicago, Illinois. Chicago is a great American city. World-class architecture, food, culture, a lake that makes you forget you're landlocked. It also has problems its boosters prefer you not dwell on. Population has been declining, below 2.7 million, down from 3.6 million at peak. South and west sides face 30% poverty rates and violent crime dominating headlines. Property taxes are among the nation's highest. Pension obligations could consume the budget for decades. Median housing around $330,000 sounds moderate, but property taxes mean you're paying far more than sticker price. The winters are brutal. The corruption is cultural. Chicago is incredible for a visit. Chicago is incredible if you're wealthy. For middle-class families seeking stability, the math has gotten harder. Number 4. Detroit, Michigan. Detroit is the comeback story America wants to believe in. And there has been a comeback. Downtown is legitimately revitalized. The arts scene thrives. But the comeback has been profoundly uneven. Population has collapsed from 1.8 million to around 620,000. 35 square miles of vacant land, larger than Manhattan. Poverty exceeds 30%. Violent crime ranks among the highest. Public schools remain among the worst performing. Housing is famously cheap, median around $85,000. That cheapness attracts investors and optimists. But cheap housing here isn't always a bargain. Sometimes it's a trap. Detroit has potential. It's had potential for decades. Potential is not the same as delivery. Number 3. Phoenix, Arizona. Phoenix is a city that shouldn't exist. I mean literally. 5 million people in a desert where summers regularly exceed 115 degrees. The question isn't whether Phoenix has problems. It's whether those problems are survivable. The Colorado River, supplying much of Phoenix's water, is running out. Farms are fallowing. Groundwater is depleting at rates that can't be replenished. Unlike Vegas, Phoenix hasn't been innovative about conservation. Pools, lawns, golf courses reflecting an era of abundance that no longer exists. The heat keeps setting records. 30-plus days above 115. Heat deaths climbing. Housing has boomed to around $450,000, driven by California refugees who saw cheap land and didn't ask questions. A city requiring you to never go outside for 5 months isn't a city. It's a climate-controlled holding pattern. Phoenix is betting technology solves its problems before physics catches up. That's a bet I wouldn't take. Number 2. Los Angeles, California. Los Angeles is the dream factory, appropriate because it takes an active dream state to look at current reality and think, this is where I want to live. Median home price, $950,000. Median household income, around $75,000. The math doesn't math. It hasn't mathed for years. Traffic is legendary. Homelessness is visible everywhere. Air quality remains poor. Fire risk has become existential. The city still has perfect weather, cultural production radiating globally, the Pacific and the mountains and the mythology. But mythology and reality have diverged so completely, they're barely speaking. Los Angeles in 2026 is for the rich, the connected, and the desperately hopeful. Everyone else is leaving or figuring out how to. Number 1. San Francisco, California. San Francisco, the city that was supposed to show us the future. For 15 years, it was the undisputed capital of the American economy. Tech money flowed. Startups minted millionaires. Then somehow it went sideways. Median home price, $1.3 million. Median rent for a one-bedroom, over $3,000. A household income of $150,000 qualifies as low income for housing assistance. These numbers aren't high, they're satirical. But it's not just cost. Homelessness is visible on nearly every block while billion-dollar companies operate feet away. Property crime is among the country's highest. Car break-ins happen so frequently residents don't bother reporting. Tech companies are decentralizing, leaving for Austin or Miami or nowhere. Population has declined. Commercial real estate has collapsed. Downtown feels hollowed out in ways that seemed impossible 5 years ago. San Francisco still has extraordinary beauty, the bay, the bridges, the fog. It has cultural relevance and incredible restaurants. None of that matters if you can't afford to live there. The tragedy isn't that San Francisco failed. It's that it succeeded so completely that success became indistinguishable from failure. The city optimized for wealth creation and forgot about housing, infrastructure, community. The basic contract saying if you work hard, you can live here. That contract is void. Don't move to San Francisco. The city you're imagining doesn't exist anymore. Maybe it never did. 26 cities. Some struggling with crime, some with cost, some with climate. A few with all three. This list isn't meant to mock these places or the people who love them. Every city here has residents working to make it better, arguing I've missed the point. They might be right. Place is complicated. Love is irrational. Home is wherever you make it. But if you're staring at a map wondering where to restart your life, you deserve to know what you're walking into. The internet is full of optimistic lists written by people selling something. This was the other kind. If you made it this far, you value honesty over hype. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share if you want more videos like this. You probably have opinions about what should have made the list. Drop them in the comments. And if you're living in one of these cities and thriving, congratulations. You're doing something right. Until next time.